Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Sean Kelly from Chasing Prophecy. Um, Michael must not be feeling good. He's not here yet. We're just waiting on my guest tonight, who is Joe Monteldo, who is really big into UFOs. And so, for the next 3 hours, um, sit back, enjoy, and have fun. Feel free to answer any questions in the comments. We'll try to get to your answers. Um, so, what do you think of UFOs? My personal opinion on UFOs is that they do exist. Okay. Um, do I believe that aliens do exist? Yes, I do believe they do. And it's going to, really open some eyes up. Um, Whenever I do believe that they're like making something up, something to do, and not to attack Earth, but I'm sure they got their little alien friends in front of them, or people in the government and such that are like in close communication with them. Um, so Joe has a lot of experience um, with the UFO community. He also has a lot of experience in the DNA, or the different eye colors. you know, we're going to have to wait until he comes on, and we can go from there. So it looks like I am running this solo tonight, so we'll see what happens. Um, for people who don't know who I am, my name is Sean Kelly, and I was the founder of the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Um, I formed it in 2006, and I started this show, 5 years ago with Jenny, and she's a little under the weather. Oh, before I forget, we are on UPRN Radio, 105.3 New Orleans and 107.7 Mississippi. You can catch us on the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page. You can also get us on the UFO Paranormal. Hello, Facebook user. Um, Welcome. I'm trying to remember who you are. That's okay. I'm just glad that you popped in and checked out the show. Um, so I guess we're still waiting for, my guest up here. He's kind of busy man, and so I'm going to try to, keep going. Um, so it's like, I don't know. We'll see what the Scotsman. Okay, thank you. For some reason, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of people who go on to and watch the show on Facebook, they don't show their names or their faces, and I don't know have the reason why that they are. Um, Unless it's a glitch in the Facebook itself. But I will tell you this, though, I've been having a hard time getting my notifications. I finally got them back after 5 days now, and and you know, it's kind of rough doing this by myself here. Um, Joe, if you're out there and you can hear me, please get on quick. So uh, I don't know. I finally got my my notifications and back, and it took 5 days to do it. So I don't know. It must be something in the air. Um, oh, that's kind of late. I'm getting all these Facebook messages right now. So if you hear some weird sounds, um, I'll tell you how much of a crazy day is. Everyone knows our intro that we have. So I had it all set up for today. And you know what? So I went to play the intro, and it's not there. And I'm like, okay, so this either is a test for me tonight to test my patience, or is this a test just to, just throw a monkey wrench into my situation tonight? I should quit leaning on this. Yeah, so there you go. That's better. So we do have a new thing here on Chasing Prophecy. The third hour, we have a special segment. It's called Into the Night with Sean Kelly. Um, and what I'm thinking now, since we're waiting on my guest, Joe, I'm going to talk a little bit about the paranormal, if everybody's okay with that. Um, and you probably heard my story. It's been a while since I said it though, but I have mentioned it on the show a couple times. But in 2006, I formed a group, Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, uh, here in Pittsburgh, and we went for about 17 years. You know, and that's a long time to have a group. Um, the reason why I got the group uh, basically was to do something on a Saturday night, and what we did was we would go to cemeteries. We would go to hello, welcome. Okay, I know Squatch is the one guy. This is Ernie. I bet this is Ernie. Hi, Ernie. Um, but what we did um, was go to cemeteries and different places to investigate because it just would do something on a Saturday night, and it was it was a lot of fun. Um, and but as time went on, I really got into. I mean, a lot of people like to go to different places and go and investigate. Like hospitals, like old hospitals, old libraries, and stuff like that. But it was different with the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. October 2006, we actually did our first investigation at a client's house, and it was a lot of fun. We did go down, we did have our evidence, and it was like an eye awakening because at that time, a lot of people, you know, were like afraid to tell people about ghosts. They thought people would say that, that they were kind of crazy. You know what I mean? And they were. We all were. I mean, justice a little bit. And so we started doing it, and it's funny because we never advertised. Everything was done by the word of mouth. And at that time in 2006, I do believe Ghost Hunters were on for a couple of years right now. And so it was the new thing to do. Um, so people started watching that show, and so it got really big. But what was really cool with our group is that we actually did investigations for people. You know, sure we did our everyday cemetery, and yes, we did our everyday gun. And I love to say it's called Wilderness Road, and so it was a lot of fun. I know people are leaving, because let me give Joe a message here and see if he's coming on. I don't know. No, I'm just going to go with it. You know, this today is not a good day at all. But we're going to manage it for the next 2 hours and 50 minutes. So that's how we got started. And my favorite places where to go was Gettysburg and Antietam, the battlefield Antietam, was really great because we were down there in Antietam, and it's called the Dunkard Church. It was a big Civil War battle down there, and they have what you call the sunken road. Okay, and in the sunken road, that's where the Confederates, were hanging out. Um, and it was a good vantage point because what happened was a lot of the Union soldiers would cross the field, okay, and they were getting targeted by these people in this road. So eventually, what happened? There was a lot of lives lost that day, and what happened was the Northern Army, the Union Army, flanked them, on both sides, and they ended up shooting them, and it was like a bloodbath down there. But there was a lot of activity that went down there. It's a lot of residual, and what I mean by residual energy is that a spirit is walking at that time, like in 1863 when he got shot. So when it's a residual, he's like on a different plane, because all spirits are on different planes. And so whenever you're standing there and you actually see a spirit walking towards you in a Confederate uniform or a Union uniform, um, what happens is that they don't see you standing there, not at all. And it's really, really interesting. I'm really am trying here tonight, guys. You know, um, everything is just not working out right, and I'm just please bear with me. You know, but Gettysburg and Antietam were the best places for me to go investigate. I would go up there at least twice a year for like 20 years. Um, thank you. And so it was funny because, the spirits that do exist, the ones that do understand what's going on, it got to the point where, they actually kind of knew who I was, and what was crazy is that people um, would go. There's a really haunted place down there called Sachs Covered Bridge, and what happened was after the war in Gettysburg, July 4th, 1863. Okay, when the Confederate Army decided to go back down into Virginia, they took the um, they took the uh, Sachs Covered Bridge, and what they did was that they hung people for desertion, you know, and there were like three soldiers that were hung on there. It was really cool. I got a couple stories to tell you from that. Um, the one ghost that does hang out there, um, he's from Tennessee. And I don't know, he does like all the attention because if you go up there in the summertime, there's a lot of people that go on vacation up there who really like to ghost hunt. And so it took, he likes to show off. But I've come to find out that what this dude was like, he, all he had to do was leave him a cigarette. Seriously, a cigarette in the match, you know. And so, and that's what I continued to do. And he would just put on a show for everybody. Um, it was really cool because you'd see people who never, investigated before. This was their first time investigating, and a lot of people um, would, have their K2 meters, all kinds of other equipment that they use, and he would just like start messing with the equipment and stuff like that. And and put on a show. But I always left him that cigarette. And I also, you know, would leave him a match. And he did like his whiskey, but, that was kind of hard. I'd have to go there in the middle of the night, just to give him a little shot of whiskey. But, by just doing that, and, acknowledging that he was there, everything was cool. You ask him to come, and he would be there and start doing his thing. Now there's another bridge up the road from there, and it's called the Eisenhower Bridge. A lot of people don't really know about that bridge, but they call it the Suicide Bridge because there was a lot of suicides that actually happened on there on that bridge, and there was a lot of people who did kill themselves. And it's just a small bridge. It's nothing huge. It's not covered. It's just an ordinary bridge. And so we went there a couple years ago, and it was pretty intense. Some of the group members caught some really crazy photos of different things that were like laying into like laying next to the road and inside the bushes. Now a lot of people would call that matrixing, but you know what? Some things you can't explain, even though it does look kind of weird in the picture. Um, but there's some things that you can explain. So um, that was haunted. There's a lot of many places that haunted up there in Gettysburg. But I tell you what, the big thing about Gettysburg is that people don't seem to realize automatically people flock to the bridge, Sachs Covered Bridge, and they also flock to the battlefield because you're actually allowed to stay there till about on the field until about 10 p.m. And a lot of people go there, but they don't seem to realize that that battle actually went through the little town of Gettysburg. So what I would do, and I'd like to do, is like about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. There's no cars on Route 30 or 15, and I'd take a walk in. How far will you travel to check places out? I have gone as far as New Jersey, um, down to Maryland, Ohio. Almost made it to Indiana, but that was just a little too far. But I would travel to a lot of places. But I would have to, make a date and set to where I can get a weekend off. Um, I do like to travel and go to places for one night or overnight. Like we did a lot of couple trips down to Bel Air, Ohio, and that was crazy. Um, Bel Air, Ohio. Me and Jason were down in the cellar at one time, and we were sitting there doing the EVP session, and all of a sudden, Jason heard some shuffling of the feet, and as he was coming up, he just like this dude's like 6'2", 6'3". He's a huge dude. Scared the crap out of him. There is in Indiana. Okay, my son's from out there. He's living out there right now. I hear there's some kind of farm out there or a farmhouse of some sort. I think I read it. I do believe I'm friends with people from Indiana that do have a ghost investigation team. But as we were down in Bel Air, Ohio, um, he just fell in my lap. And there was another guy in my group, and he saw the exact same thing. Okay. And so he drew it, and it looked like a platypus. No lie, with feet. And the reason why is that he drew what he saw, and down there in the Bel Air house, they have things that people write, their experiences on what day, during what time, and so we were opening it up, and we saw a picture of this platypus type of looking alien thing, And Roy, he pulled out his drawing, and it was the same picture that you saw. Now, a lot of people um, might think you know, everything is just like, you know, a story, or it's like something to tell people. You know, where's your proof of the pictures? Where's your proof of audio? And to be honest with you, there was a lot of times that down in on investigations, you don't get pictures. You don't even get audio sometimes. But if you do get something, um, honestly, it's luck. It's like the luck of the draw when it comes to audio or video, or even, you know, a regular picture. Uh, right now, you don't have to go and spend all that big money out there to, you know, for a camera of some sort, because the phones that they have out now work really, really good too now. And especially like what the iPhones and stuff like that. I have an Android, and it really, really works great. Um, I take some awesome pictures with it. I also get some awesome video. And what else is cool about it is that it also has a recording system, like a tape recorder on it. And um, I actually did EVPs with my phone. Just caught a couple noises here and there, and but nothing really big, you know. And so, but it's just like I remember back when I started, you know, the biggest thing that you could get was a K2 meter. And do you remember them old video cameras that were like this huge? Yeah, that's what they used. I never did one there. I just didn't really feel like having one. For me, what I had and started in 2006 is what I have today, and that's just a simple K2 meter and a voice recorder. That's all I have, you know. See, to me, those are the two best, you know, working equipment for gus hunting. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, they got some very good cameras out there. Uh, Jason, he has some very, very, very good cameras, and you know, the SLS camera that just came out. Um, they they work pretty good. They're like stick figure things. I don't know if you saw them on the ghost shows or not, but they're pretty interesting. And so back to the Bel Air house. I remember that weekend, or it was the weekend, because we've been down there 3 or 4 different times. And when we go down there, we would usually go for 2 nights, Friday night and Saturday night, come home Sunday. So what happened was one time we were down there, and we were there Friday night. We were investigating, and it was great. I mean, the house was happy. The spirits were showing themselves. I mean, it was a very nice, relaxing investigation. And then, hello, Facebook user, sir, whoever you are. I don't know why they're not letting you put your names up. They're your pictures. But so that Friday night, it was one of the best investigations that I ever been on. And so what happened was that Saturday afternoon, and it was really, really crazy because all of a sudden, okay, all of a sudden, you started to feel the house turn from a happiness to a real dark, evil type of deal. And that night, okay, that night, it was one of the most scariest, like, investigations ever. People were getting, you know, touched, they were getting pushed. It wasn't good. So for a house, and it's crazy because a lot of people say, oh, it was just a figment of your imagination, and I got a lot of that, but it really wasn't. Um, It wasn't a figment of my imagination at all. Even the other people. Hey, River, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Talking a little bit paranormal here before my guest Joe comes on. Good to see you, River. Thank you for being, coming in. If you have any questions, anybody out there about paranormal investigating or ghosts or whatever, feel free to ask and we can kindly answer them. So that it's not. I've been to many places, especially the Bel Air House, because it's really like I was like drawn to it. You get drawn to places like that. Now, was it the spirits that inhabited? I mean, Friday night was a happy ghost, happy spirits. Okay, honestly, they were happy spirits. And then Saturday night, all of a sudden, it just turned into something evil. And for the longest time, we really couldn't figure out what the hell happened. So we kind of think that with the house that sat there, it's all the energy that's inside the house, or the energy that's in the house that releases out there. Uh, I'm glad. Yes, it is. Sebastian, thank you, Sean. Operation Bluebeam seems to be popular again. Yes, sir, it does. Um, isn't that crazy what's going on out in the world right now? Um, we'll get to that later on, hopefully, when Joe comes on. But so, and it's just not the Bel Air House, but there were other places that we actually went to where it just seemed like the house was emitting all this negativity. What are your thoughts out there, everybody? What is your thoughts? Do you think with the old house just standing there by itself with nobody in it, do you think that for all the ghosts and everything, or the Ouija boards or the witchcraft that has happened in the house, do you think the energy just actually just consumes inside the house and the house releases it? I'll be honest with you, I really believe it does. Okay. I truly believe it does. And, but it's just amazing how, oh, there was the other house. There was that one house up in New York, same way, you know. Yeah, there were definitely spirits in the house, but it was just like the house was just releasing so much negativity, you know, even, in the woods, um, it was a lot of negativity. It just it did not feel right. Okay. Um, no one got hurt, thank God, but it really kind of did mess with your mind. Um, but things went okay. There were a couple other places like Gettysburg and here in Pittsburgh, and that's where I'm from. We got Carnegie Libraries from Brownsville. Something's going on here. Um, can y'all hear me out there? I got something new pop up on my thing. Um, oh, they went away. Okay. So I'm from Pittsburgh, and you know that Andrew Carnegie, who was really used back way long time ago, what he did was he built a lot of libraries for the people um, to go read. I know the main one, the Carnegie Library over in Homestead, was huge. Okay. And what happened was at the time he built this library, there are many reasons why houses hold haunted energies, like location, the owner's energy, like ley lines. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you if I'm coming through well. Great. Um, River, I've been in the business for such a long time, okay, that a lot of people talk about these ley lines, and I really, really never kind of understood there. I couldn't understand them. Okay. And so what I did, you know, that's something that I got to start looking into. But yes, River's right. You know, the energy's like the location. Now, a lot of places, you know, and I'm glad you brought that up too, River, because what happened, like, there's a place, Penn Trafford, and it's right near, um, it's near the Bushy Run battlefield. Okay. And with the, and that was back in the Revolutionary War. But there was a lot of some guy or some company bought a whole lot of land over there, and what happened was they started to put housing plans in there. Okay, and what was crazy about the housing plans, what was crazy about the housing plans were that they just built right on top of the lands. And I guess you do that for housing plans. I guess that sounds ridiculous. Um, but we did this one cul-de-sac. We actually did one house, and we ended up doing 4 or 5 other houses in the same area. And a lot of people were experiencing the same things at everybody's house. And what it was, did a little research on the plan, and basically what happened, the war came through there. And so there were a lot of dead soldiers, dead Native Americans, okay, that were killed there. And so that was it. And I hope to God I'm not boring you guys. I really hope not. But I'm just trying to make it past here, you know. Yeah, it's just not a good night tonight. So I'm trying to liven it. So how was everybody's day today? Um, River, Sebastian, how's you guys going? Uh, thank you, thank you. And so that's a lot. You know, I could go on and on and on forever about the paranormal. You know, and so all of a sudden I started to switch. You know, into the UFOs. Ever since I started this show, everything is good. Everything changed in my mind, you know, because it was like ghost, 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 ghost. To me, that was the paranormal. But come to find out that it, you know, the UFOs started to kick in, the Bigfoot you started to kick in, you know, the cryptids started to come in, and I do believe I did see a Thunderbird. Um, thank you, Sebastian. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, sir. And but I did thought I saw a thunderbird, you know, a couple of years ago. It was a big bird in the sky, and it was a full moon. It was creepy as hell. It was a full moon, and this bird just, you know, because a lot of people thought it was a turkey vulture, but it really wasn't. Okay, it wasn't a turkey vulture at all because we have no turkey vultures here in Pittsburgh, not that I know of. I know that they do down in Ohio, okay, because I've seen them and them suckers are huge. But not around here though. We really don't have too many of those. Um, but to see a bird that big, you know, Lord, I want to go see a Bigfoot. You know what I mean? I want to go see. Um, I want to see a cryptid. I want to explore this stuff. You know. So hopefully sometime this year that I could hook up with somebody and go on a Bigfoot investigation. That would be great. You know, I would not know what to do. You know, I mean, I'm from the city of Pittsburgh, so when it comes to camping and when it comes to the woods, um, I'm really not much of a camper. Give me a hotel room and I'm happy as a jaybird. You know what I mean? But so where everybody lives, who's in like River, Sebastian, are there any cryptids out there where you live? Anybody? Squadsman. I mean, can you like to share some of your stories with us and tell us where you're coming from? You know what happens down in your neck of the woods. That would be truly appreciative. If you can. If you can't, that's okay. So 3 years ago, what? No, I'm sorry, 5 years ago, I started chasing prophecy with Jenny Nicosia. Okay, and so she like kind of opened up my mind because okay, none in Indiana, none in South Carolina. Okay, I was in South Carolina. I was stationed in South Carolina. To be honest with you, I was in the Navy. We were stationed up there at the weapons station. I forget Goose Creek. Does that sound familiar? Tennessee has so many great haunted places. Oh, that's what I heard. Now, River, I hear a lot of things about the Appalachians Mountains, uh, or is it the Ozarks down there? Um, I read a lot, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos on them, and it just seems interesting to go in there. Like it's funny because I do follow TikTok a lot, and there's a couple people on there that talk about the oh, Florence. Okay, all right, I know where Florence is at. Charleston, South Carolina is beautiful. Honest to God, if you can, it is so gorgeous down there. The houses, the buggy rides with the horses. It's just very pretty. But back to Tennessee, I look at these people, and they talk about. They always say, if you're hearing your name outside, do not go out because they'll get you. Have you ever experienced anything like that, River? Um, or anybody out there? Feel free to come on and talk to me about it. Talk to everybody here. This is an open forum. This is all for happy. Tonight is just a happy night. And whatever you want to talk about, just come up and say something about it. Sebastian, there are dogmen, werewolf, and Bigfoot sightings throughout Britain. Plenty of UFOs also. I have had many ghost and paranormal events. Oh wow. Now see, it's funny. I guess I'm so in tune that, looking, reading stuff about the Bigfoot and the dogman and the werewolf out here and in the States, but I didn't really realize that in Britain there was a lot. That's crazy. Um, I can see where there's a lot of plenty of the UFO situations out there because you're surrounded. You're one big island, so I'm sure they have a lot of um, underwater bases out there. Well, maybe Joe can answer that if he comes on. You know, um, and I can. You saw. River says, "Well, I have seen 3 UFOs in New York State growing up." What did you think of that, River? I mean, what did you think when you first saw your first UFO? What was it like? Um, I see them one every now and then if I go fishing at North Park. I look up in the sky and I see them up there. But back to Sebastian there, buddy. Excuse me. But over there in Britain, I can understand all the paranormal events happening over there. Especially around, the castles. I have read up on some of the castles out there. Now, my ancestors are from Ireland. They're from Galway. They're from County Mayo, County Clare. And okay, Sebastian says a great guest for you would be Deborah Hatswell. She fronts the BBR channel on YouTube. Okay, let me go write her name down. Okay, I would be happy. Thanks on that, Sebastian. Let me write her name down. Um, so, but you know what else? Since you live in Britain, Sebastian, I was wondering, um, do you believe in fairies and like, oh wow, we might be related. We might be related. Uh, Deborah Hansel. Thank you for that. Thank you for that info. I'll send her a message. Thank you very much. Say, we might be related, Sebastian. That'd be cool, huh? River Rose says, I saw one in 2014 in the winter, high up in the clouds. It was a cigar shaped, golden hued UFO. I had to pull the car over to really look so I wouldn't crash, but it was a sight. Wow, that would be sweet, you know. Um, that's cool, you know. Um, I really wish now um, a lot of people think that for me, I'm like hands on type of dude. Okay, so for me, paranormal investigation, I have seen ghosts, I have dealt with ghosts. I know that they do exist. Now, when it comes to the UFO and aliens, do I believe in them? Yes, I do. I really, truly do. But in order for me to work out right, um, to really believe is that I want a UFO to land in my backyard so I can touch it. Isn't that funny? But and I actually want to shake the ET's hand. Does anybody out there like River Sebastian? Have you ever thought about if you actually did meet an alien? What would you say? What would what would you do if you actually saw an alien face to face? Um, I would like, as a joke, I said, take me to your leader. My leader's not so hot nowadays, But I don't think I could ask questions because if I understand correctly, the aliens they do, you know, they can read your minds, they can talk to you through your minds. That's very, very possible. That would be pretty cool. I just want to meet one, you know. Who knows? Maybe someday I will. Or maybe that spaceship will land in my backyard. Or maybe if I'm at the Kinzu Dam here in Pennsylvania, there I'm not. Sebastian says I'm not too sure. It's a good question. Yeah, it is. But so everybody, kind of like think about that for a little bit, and just tell me what you would think. If you can't give me an answer right now, um, you know, if you can't think of an answer right now, save it for next week. River says, I am not sure what I would do. I guess it would depend on the alien, how well behaved they are. That's funny. That's funny. How well behaved. Was there like 11 different types of aliens out there? And I don't know. People are saying, the reptilians or the grays and uh, stuff like that. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I just think reptilians look like a reptilian. Sebastian says, my sister saw three shadow people or dark shapes. She and her dog got off quickly. I don't blame you. I have a theory behind the shadow people. Okay, here's my theory behind it. If you look at it right, the ghosts and the spirits are on another plane, okay? And here's our plane, and there's their plane. So when they walk on that line, it's like them walking on a tightrope, okay? To where our light is imaging their shadow onto a wall of some sort or wherever, whatever is going on here. Facebook user says Brandon said when he was 19 or 20 years old, he went with friends out to the grave site in Kokomo, Indiana. The little grave site called Jerome Cemetery. In the month of October, in Darkwood area, no more than 30 minutes there. We started getting, acting, walking around. He was in back, my friends in front of me. He remembers getting there. Next thing he knows, my friends were saying that he was not himself, and they told him his eyes turned straight black and talking strange language. Next thing that's pretty creepy. It seems like he was probably overtaken, um, actually been possessed. And that happens. That's one of like some of the real crazy things about whenever you go ghost investigation. I like to bring this up a little bit too about the safety of investigating. Um, you always, you could go see a lot of uh, players take a little, they watch on TV that they bring their camera and K2 meters and or whatever, and they see it on TV. So people decide to go out and actually do that. But if you do not, honestly, if you do not know how to protect yourself, you can get like really hurt. Um, you can get possessed. You can, get scratched. You can get bit. You can get um, a lot of bad stuff. A lot of bad stuff can happen. So what I suggest to you would be to like go with somebody that knows what they're doing. But back to the shadow. That's my theory on it. Um, they're on their line and I'm on my line. And so that's the way I look at shadow people. I do have some good pictures of shadow people taken on investigations. I got some really good evidence of um, um, spirits. You know, I don't know how to use the share button, but if I did, I would show them. So maybe one day I will be able to do that. So that's pretty cool. Um, let me see if my boss is there. If anybody else has any ideas, um, what they would like to talk about, we still have 2 hours to go. Hmm. Nah, it's too not at all. All right. So I'm just like lost. Oh, you know what to talk. So I'm just going to keep on talking. I appreciate people helping me out. In the rooms, for me to continue talking. So that's basically okay. It's 8 o'clock. Now we can take a little break. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. I want to thank Carnation for actually sponsoring Chasing Prophecy, the second hour. And thank you, Carnation. Thank you. Um, so What I want to do right now is, whoop, sorry, okay, is just talk. I might not even make it to a third hour. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. But I will tell you how I feel about what's going on in today's world now. It's not nice, you know. Oh, okay, Sebastian. Thank you, River. Thank you. Sebastian said, I was with a friend at a place called Single Hall back in 1997. We were at the top of the stairs and he was hit in the face. There was three of us there at the time. On another occasion, he was there with another team and he was burnt several times on his body. That's the first one for me, Sebastian, honestly. That's the first time for me ever hearing somebody been burnt. Huh. Now, I've seen a lot of people get, like, for instance, one time I had a bite mark on my arm, and I've seen a lot of people get scratched, but never about the burn. Now, Sebastian, your friend who got hit in the face, was he being like rambunctious? Was he like calling out the spirit? Was he not, being serious about the investigation? Because that happens a lot. I mean, if you go into an investigation um, and you want to go out and you want to try to, get some stuff, some evidence, what you do not want to do, okay, what you don't want to do is do that. You don't want to call them out. It's just like me, Sebastian. You're dead, and I come to your house, and I expect, and I want you to respond to all the questions that I have. Okay, and I start calling you every name in the book. Well, let me ask you this: would you want me to come into your house, Sebastian, and call you every name in the book so I can get a response out of you? Okay. See, people don't seem to realize that spirit, ghost, however you want to call it, right? They were human at one point in time. They were human, and okay. Sebastian says yes, absolutely, spot on, Sean. He was using prompting sarcasm to affect a reaction. Yes, and so he deserved that. You know, you just don't do that. You just do not go and provoke a ghost just to get some attention, because it's not going to work. You know, it it wasn't too bad though. Okay, okay, but I want to thank for your kind words, Rivers. Thank you for hanging in there with me, and Sebastian, and the other of the people who are in here listening. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And so you just don't go into a house, and you just don't go into um, places like this. Okay, um, and call a person out. I always believed when I first started the group, I always believed that if you show them respect, in return, they will respect you and they will give you more evidence. They'd be more than happy to talk to you through the EVPs. Sebastian said, we had an early encounter that resulted in scratching. Here, I can put this up and read it. There we go. We had an early encounter that resulted in scratching, dragging sounds that were amazing and scary at the same time. Wow, this must have been like a really crazy place to go to. Um, hmm, that sounds really, really interesting. I like places like that. To me, um, thank you, Sebastian. But you know what? What's crazy is I like things like that. I look forward to that. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, how do you feel when you go on an investigation? And I'm like, okay, the most exciting part about an investigation, everyone thinks I'm going to say, you know what? Hey, um, it's probably catching all the evidence you want, and having, getting good evidence, getting good pictures, EVPs and stuff like that. But you know what the most important thing for me is? Okay. What the most exciting thing was that actually preparing, going to the place, doing the research on the house or the place. Um, charging up all my batteries to go to the investigation, getting in my car and driving out to the investigation. Because I'll be honest with you, everybody, when you investigate, think about it, right? You're sitting in a room, in a dark room at night, no one's around, and you're talking to something that might not be there. It gets very boring. It really does. And all you do is just snap pictures. But everything that led up to the investigation was the exciting part for me. The investigation, my concern was that the people who went with me on the investigation, they would actually have fun, or I could teach them a little bit. And then there was, times where after the investigation, we would actually look at our evidence that we had. Okay. And the evidence, Watson, was great. It was because I remember when we first started, right? Okay. We had digital cameras. Um, and with the digital cameras, we took like about, oh my God, like each one of us took like 400 pictures. I'm serious. I'm being honest with you. And the next day, that Sunday, or, whenever we got the chance to look at them, going through 400 pictures. Is that crazy? And it was fun. It was boring. It was crazy. But sitting in front of your computer on a Sunday morning with a coffee and cigarettes in your hand and just going through each picture. And so as time went on, okay, as time went on, um, I finally got it down to a science. And maybe I'm going to share this with you and anybody that's actually, looking at pictures of stuff, um, of any evidence of some sort. What you do is that you just look at the picture and you find a different anomaly, right? If you find a different anomaly, okay, save it and then go to the next picture and then to the next picture until you see another anomaly. And after you go through all your pictures, okay, um, then, take the day off, and then go back the next day and then pull those pictures up from your files and start looking through them. And it'd be crazy, what you pick up. Now, a lot of people pick up orbs, okay, and I'll talk a little bit about the orbs now. Um, orbs are you know, like like a curse word in the paranormal. Okay, you got your dust orbs. Okay, you got your dew orbs. Okay, you got your water orbs. You got all these different types of orbs. And I know that when you first go out and you snap a picture somewhere, you're going to see all these little orbs all over the place, and you're going to think to yourself, oh my God, they're ghosts. Look at all the ghosts in this room. And basically, it's just dust someone kicked up. And um, my thing at the time was kind of hard because I didn't really want to rain on the parade and say, no, that was just, dust and that was just dew coming off the trees. But I had to be honest with them. And yeah, they were disappointed and some would fight with me, yes. But to me, I do believe in orbs, okay? And how I believe in orbs is that if I am investigating a place and I feel energy that is around me, whoever's with me, I will ask them if they could please take a picture of me. And what happens is they'll take the picture, and then all of a sudden, this big, like, gigantic orb will happen. Okay. And it just shows up. So it's like kind of like proof, you know, it's kind of like proof that happens that orbs are for real, but there's a lot of orbs that are not. A lot of orbs that are not. And so I'm doing pretty good. All right. What do we got? We're at 1 hour. Wow, I made it 1 hour. I'm just going to double check and see if my boss is on yet. Nope, not yet. That's okay. So does anybody have any other stories out there that they would like to share? Um, oh, back to Sebastian. You being over in England, all right. I want to know what is your there? Okay, River Rose. Okay, thank you, River. River says, when I used to work in nursing, I once worked at a nursing home. I can bring it up. I forgot. When I used to work in a nursing home, I once worked at a nursing home attached to a Catholic nunnery by a underground elevator. I got to hear so many stories of the basement attached to the nuns building and nursing home, but one stormy night I got stuck in that elevator. Oh my God, I would go nuts because I'm claustrophobic. And it was particularly stuck with doors open to the nun side. Oh my gosh, I had to crawl out because the lights in the electric went out and run through the creepy basement to the stairs to go to the nunnery, passing scary statues, lightning. Oh my God, girl, God bless you. Oh my God, I would have had a heart attack. Yeah, I would probably have a heart attack due to the statues that you saw. That's funny with me. One of my biggest fears, I have two fears that, um, and now I'm not ashamed to say, my two biggest fears are clowns and baby dolls. Those are my two biggest fears, clowns and baby dolls. And I can go to the most demonic house out there, not a problem. I can go to a place where there's pure evil, not a problem. But you put me in a room with dolls, or you put me in a room full of clowns, I'm gone. I'm done. That's it. I remember one investigation we did. It was a house and it was haunted. And so we're walking around through the house. We're doing a little walkthrough before the investigation. Opened up a door and there was a room full of dolls. I panicked. Honest to God, I had a panic attack. And I just had to get out of there because I can't deal with dolls. I don't know. There's just something about dolls that kind of like freaked me out, you know. And clowns. Oh my God, people used to like send me messages with scary clown faces on them, and I would get them back. Yeah, I would. Excuse me while I get something to drink here. There you go. That's better. So yeah, clowns and dogs are my worst um, fears. Any other thing? Oh, camping at night. I don't know if I could do in the tent. I mean, I would have to have armed guards around me, or I would have to put up one of them electrical fences to keep the bears out. You know, that would be funny. Um, but eventually, hopefully, one day I will be able to do, a Bigfoot hunt. I know coming up here in Pennsylvania, I think it's Clearfield, PA. I'm not sure, but there's June 9th, I do believe they have a big Bigfoot um, kind of expo of some sort. They're having some kind of real big, um, Bigfoot, show, where everyone comes out and people speak. So there's a very good possible chance that I might be going to that because I do know some of people that do go over um, and do that stuff. So maybe I might get my opportunity and do it there. You know. So what about the world today? I know I'm going all over the place tonight. But that's okay. You know. What about the world today? All you got is all this crap that's going on in our government, all this crap that's going on in the military, you know. And I'm going to be 61 years old on June 4th, okay? And when I grew up, we had none of that crap, okay? Back then, the government was great. When it came down to election, you voted your party. That's how you did it, okay? That's how you did it. You voted your party. There was no, oh, I'm going to try to go out and burn you. I'm going to go out and try to burn, you. And, I'm going to try to do this in order to screw the election up. Nothing like that ever happened. Nothing happened like that. Sebastian said, David Paulides says that they are closer to human than ape. I believe that. We had a couple guests on who are Bigfoot hunters and studied a Bigfoot. And they were saying the same thing that they are more close to human. Some people believe that if maybe I'm wrong, please tell me if I'm wrong. That they were the Nephilim. River could help me out on that one, maybe. That they were the Nephilim that came down and actually had, you know, relations with, women. Who knows? I forget how it goes, but yeah, I heard a lot about that. And you know what else? We had a guest on. He's a friend, and he was talking about quantum science, quantum physics with that. I'm not pretty sure. I don't understand quantum, but it does seem that they can. I know quantum's energy, okay, and energy moves. So is it possible that the Bigfoot, right, use that quantum energy? Like one minute they're there and the other minute they're not there. You know. Well, Sebastian says, let me bring it up. Sebastian says, I think that the West has been infiltrated, Sean. Total control of the financial systems, etc., has led to a decadent society. So true. I believe that. It's all about the money. It's all about money. But you know what? They got this so-called digital shit going to be happening in July 4th, where you won't be able to spend your money like you used to. It's all going to be online and some big central banking system, and they can tell you what they want you to spend your money on. They can deny you from spending something on. But you know what? Think about it. You can't do that. You cannot do that because somebody who sells illegal things to other people are not going to say, "Well, let me go to my bank and let me send you this," and stuff like that. Think about it, right? They need the real cash. Um, I just know that there's a lot of crap going on right now in this world, and they are throwing busters at us, so we don't actually see what the hell's going on. But I know that deep down in my bones, something is. You could just feel it. You can just feel like something's happening. Um, when the report came out, Barnum's report, okay, all of a sudden, the liberals are going nuts. Not the liberals, but the people who were involved with the 2016 election, trying to destroy Trump. There was so much in that report that actually proved that they were trying to do that to the man, you know, and eventually he still ran. Oh, Sebastian says, okay, I'm sorry. Um, no more savings. July for you and December for us. Oh, wow. Thank you. So we can't have no more savings. Oh, wow. That's not good. That's not good. Sebastian, well, I would like to have your opinion as before I get back to the other thing I was talking about. What did you think of the coronation with the new king? If you want to answer, this is a good place to share your thoughts, what you think. You're more than welcome. Yeah, I'd like to know what your thoughts were on that coronation. I don't know. It was kind of creepy because, it's funny. You saw all these videos that people put out, and they're always pointing at something that that doesn't make that doesn't look right. Like the the king is a freaking reptile, a reptilian. That's CBDC digital currency. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I got to get you on here one day on the show. I'm gonna have to get you on. Um, and speaking of David Paulides, right? Okay. Um, I have to share this with you. I don't know if you heard about it yet, but um, he has a new book out or a new story. Maybe like 7 months ago. I saw it on. It is called Missing. It's David Paulides Missing 411. Some came back. Has anybody ever heard of that? It's on YouTube, and I just was going through YouTube today, and I was wondering um, if anybody saw that because after the show's up, I'm off tomorrow, so I'll be able to um, watch it and check it out myself. I do like David Paulides. I do like the Missing 411s, um, but that's another show. Sebastian says, I am not a royalist, not keen on these evil people, and the king is WEF. Can you please tell me and our listeners to what WEF? If you have to swear, it's okay. You can swear. I don't know. Okay, but that I didn't know there were royalists out there. I thought everybody loved the queen and everybody loved the king. All right, hold on a second. Sebastian says, I have most of his Ariel books, bar the last two. Sounds very good. Yeah, it does. See, I'm not really good at reading books. What's this? World Economic Forum. Oh, okay. I've heard about that. Word came up today on the news. But yes, back to the earlier books. They are. It does sound, and I'm really seriously looking forward to it. You know, watching. So we started talking governments, and we started talking what was happening in the world, and there's like 3 or 4 people just left the room, but that's okay. You know, I'm okay with that. Um, I'm surprised that my sponsor didn't show up. Not sponsor. I'm sorry. Um, I'm surprised that my guest Joe didn't show up tonight. Maybe he's a really busy man, so he has a lot of stuff to do, and maybe he got caught, or something. I don't know, but that's okay. I think I'm doing okay so far. Um, so to me, life is okay. I don't think we're going to do the third hour. I'm not sure yet, but I think I'm doing okay. Thank you for all the encouragement and all everything that you guys have talked to me today so far. So I really appreciate it. But I think I'm doing okay. Oh, here we go. Club of Rome, Trilateral Commission. They are unelected, autocratic dictators. Huh? Didn't know that. You know what? I'm going to have to check them out, buddy. I'm learning so much about, the American, government. It'd be nice to learn a little bit about, the English and see what's going on over there. I will tell you this, though, when I was in the Navy in 1981, I was stationed over in Holy Loch, Scotland. And I will tell everybody that the United Kingdom is a very, very pretty place. Okay. I know we were in Holy Loch. I'm not sure if there's a naval base up there anymore or not, but it was surrounded by mountains that were lush green, totally lush green. Sheep on the roads, the water breaking up over the roads. And the really cool thing about it was in town, it was called the town of Dunoon, was the town that we were nearby. And that's where they held the cow games at. That's where everybody all over the United Kingdom go and they, throw hammers and they throw telephone poles and stuff like that. But yeah, the United Kingdom is gorgeous over there. So, what do you think of fairies, Sebastian? Anybody out there? Here's another little topic that we could talk about. You know, um, what about the little guys over in the forest, the fairy realm? Um, what do you think? Does anybody have any ideas if they believe them or not? Um, I do, and I'll tell you a story. What happened a long time ago. So me and my wife are divorced, and I was living over in an apartment over maybe about 15 minutes away from them. And this in this apartment complex, they built like different gardens. They planted flowers, they planted like tomatoes, and they planted cucumbers or whatever. And then one Saturday evening, um, okay, let me get back to my story that I showed. Sebastian said, "Some think them very real, Ireland and England." I believe that, dude. The mounds and circles, yes. I did a whole show on that one time. It was pretty interesting. Um, it was real interesting. I do believe that the goddess was, oh, Morgana Le Fay. She was like the queen of the underworld, but she was like, she kind of like helped the leprechauns and stuff like that, the fairies. But back to the story I was telling you about. So one Saturday evening, me and my boy, he was about 6 years old. We were sitting on a bench in the garden, just looking at it. And then all of a sudden, we saw all these lights. Like you figure they were firelights. Like we call them lightning bugs here in Pittsburgh. Okay, that's what we call them. I don't know what they call them anywhere else, but they flash green. That they let off a green luminescence. And what happened was, what was wild was that we saw all these little lights going, and they weren't fireflies, they weren't, or lightning bugs. What they were was just like little white lights going all over the place. Okay, all over the place. And when my son was like, "Daddy, look, Daddy, look," and we went over and we checked it out, and they all just went away. So the next morning we went in. The next morning, me and my boy, we went over there, and what we saw was a fairy ring, a circle ring of mushrooms, and they call them fairy rings. Exactly where the lights were shown there, you know. And I thought that was amazing. That kind of like opened up my eyes because at the time when that happened, I was starting to study meditating. I was starting to study the metaphysical things, and the gnomes, the fairies, the angels, the demons, and stuff like that. I was starting to study that, and especially the meditation. So it was kind of intriguing, and the more that I mean, that wasn't the only time that it happened. It happened a lot more times, right? But it happened a lot, you know, and it just became intriguing, And then, I met a lot of people who have their own shows. Trish, she has a show on here, and the missing piece, Trish Mo, and we got into talking one day on fairies and leprechauns and stuff like that, and she's a believer in them too. Uh, I think it's pretty neat, the little people, that they call, you know. But yeah, so I really, believe that they do exist. Okay. Um, well, we're covering everything tonight, you know, but we're still making it. We're still making it. So tell me, everybody, should I do another hour? I want to. I have to. It's my job. Okay. It's my job that I have to do it. And it's going to be into the night. And I'll start, come think about something else to talk about. I really would like to tell you what's going on my mind. So if you really want to know what's happening in my life today, feel free, please hang on. It's going to take a 30-second break, and we'll start the new one. But it is a new segment that I have on. We have on Chasing Prophecy. The third hour is into the night. Okay. Also, I'd like to bring up something to you too. I also have my show into the night, and I really, really would like to get that back. Okay, but due to certain circumstances, I had to, make Chasing Prophecy a third hour in order for me to do what I had to do. And but I hope we don't know what's going on. Everything's up in the air right now. What's going to be happening? Um, so we'll see what we can go from. So if you really want to know what's going on in my mind tonight, feel free to stick around from 9 to 10. Okay, and then you'll be able to hear what's going on. That's one thing I do tell you is I do tell the truth. Okay, I am not afraid to express how I feel. Okay, and there are times and days where I just really need to let loose. But you know what? I'm not going to be that on here tonight. I'm not. It's not worth it. I have very good friends on here who are in the chat room listening. And I got people out there who are listening in other parts of the world. And so I'm not going to ruin that. I'm going to ruin the friendship. I made a lot of friends on here. I met a lot of new people, a lot of good people, you know, and that's great. That's good because and what I do is I learn from you guys too. And so I'm going to take another drink here real quick. All right. I'm going to take another drink. So where should we go next? Um, I don't know. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to bring up? You know, I don't know. I know what we can talk about, and I'm going to talk about this on the third hour too. Mental health. This is May's Mental Health Awareness Night month. Okay, and I will be the first one to tell you that I do have mental health issues. Okay, um, I'm no doctor, but I can actually tell you, it has affected me a lot. I get very depressed. I get very anxious, and it's not good. It's not good at all. I used to take medications. I don't take them no more. Maybe that's the problem because what's crazy is when I took the medications, it made life a lot worse for me. Okay, it just really put me in more depression. But you know what? Like a friend of mine said, that the medicine is supposed to help you out. Maybe it was, but man, I did not like what it did to my body. And so I go out there, and even though I don't see you guys, okay, and I don't see a lot of people, but I do want you to know, okay, I really honestly want you guys to know, okay, that I do pray for you, and I do care about every single one of y'all. A lot of people, they have a hard time dealing with that. They have a hard time, accepting the fact that there's somebody out there that really cares for them. You know, no, I'm in no secret relationship, so I'm not yelling at a girl or nothing like that. Get that off the chest. But no, and it's hard, and with the world as it is right now, okay, it's bad. It's bad, and it is affecting everybody. It's really, and it affects me. You know. Thank you, Mandy. And it's affecting me, and it's like, okay, let me see what Sebastian said here. You would like Jerry Marzinski, Sean. Well worth looking up, and would also be a great guest. Thank you, Sebastian. Appreciate. I'll write that down right now. Jerry Marzinski. Okay, Marzinski. Sebastian, we're gonna have to get you on here one night. I would like to have that. You know, but back then it's like, all the shit that's going on in the world right now, and it's really affecting a lot of people's mental health. Honest to God, it is. You don't know what to do. You don't know to go out and give them a hug. You don't know if you want to go and and punch them out. Um, thank you, thank you for the prayers. Everyone needs prayers. Everybody, everybody needs a prayer. Everybody. But here's something that everybody. I mean, how hard is it to go up and give somebody a hug? Seriously, how hard is it? How hard is it for you to go and see somebody that is not doing good, and you can't, and just sit down and listen to them? Or, not even let you just listen. You don't have to talk. How hard is that? Do you know how many people crave a hug? Do you know how hard it is? A lot of people crave that, you know. I work with a lot of people. I work in customer service, so I have a lot of people, that come up and say hello and they talk to me. But how about the people that don't work in customer service? Thank you, Sebastian. Thanks. It will be an honor of ours too, buddy. I'll talk to you later on in the week, okay? But you know, no one has it. No one has it. No one has somebody that they could say, "Hey, I'm having a problem today. Okay, how about come up? Do you mind sitting with me? You don't have to talk to me. Just sit with me, knowing that someone is there right next to me. But nobody will do it because they have no freaking time. They have no time at all, which is a bunch of bullshit because I will tell you guys something. I'll tell you right now. There's going to be a time in your life that you're going to need somebody, that you're going to need a hug, that you're going to need somebody. One day someone's going to come up to you and say, you want somebody to come up and say to you, hey, you know what? Everything one day. Seriously. If you see somebody hurting, if you see somebody, you don't even have to know the person just to go up and say hello. Or, that cliche, oh, I think you'll go over and help this old lady across the street with her bags. Do you know how far that goes? That was probably the first nice thing a person has done for that woman in 30 years. And all it is just crossing the road. And you wonder why people are all messed up. And you wonder why people are going off the deep end. Because there's nobody to fucking talk to. Excuse my language. There's nobody. And Mandy Renee says, or they are scared to because what has gone on this world. Exactly, Mandy. Exactly. You know, with all the anger, with all the fear, with all the judgmental bullshit that's going on out there in this world right now, it's all negativity. Total negativity that's going on out in the world right now. Imagine everybody in the world, all right, listening to all the bullshit that's bad that's going on, and they're releasing their angry feelings out there in the universe. Think about it, right? It's one big ass blob of energy that is negative, and it just hangs there, just hangs there. And so we're stuck under this huge blob of anger, of negativity. You know, there's one thing that I would like is that for one day, maybe break it up a little bit, maybe a little in tads or something like that, maybe little pieces, here and there. But maybe one day that everybody could just get along together and no fighting, no arguing, no nothing, and everybody loves everybody. One freaking day. One freaking day. Honestly, I would take 1 hour, to be honest with you. I'd take 1 hour. 1 hour won't hurt. And if the whole world can't do it, maybe you can do it for yourself. Maybe for 1 hour a day, 1 hour out of your whole day, that you just cannot hate on nobody, that you just love them and accept for who they are and what they're going through. Because sure as shit, nobody knows what other people are going through. And if they are hurting, go up and give them a hug or sit with them or tell them they're nice. But the big thing is, tell them everything is going to be okay. And that goes a long way. That goes a whole long way. Hey, Scott. Hey, what's up? Oh, my God. I haven't seen you in ages. How you doing, my friend? Oh, my God. Antoine. Oh, man. Good to see you, my friend. Man, it's been a long time. Oh, that was cool. Now, see, I'm telling you, I haven't seen Antoine in, oh, my God, how long has it been? 4 or 5 years now? Maybe more. And you know how I was just saying, if you ask for help. That's my boy. And here, it just proves, it proves to everybody in here, and it proves out in the world right now that my friend, Antoine Scott, that I used to work with, yeah, it was like 6 years. And he was my friend, and I haven't talked to him in 6 years. And all of a sudden, I'm going off on this and I'm going off on that. Okay. But God was hearing me. Okay. The Spirit was listening to me. And all of a sudden, my best friend, Antoine Scott, who I worked with for many years, pops on. So tell me, that just proves, it must, hopefully it proved to you that honestly, that he listens because he knew I needed somebody tonight. Spirit knew. Spirit knew because the crap that went on, when I first started the show. And it's like, and he pops up. If this is not proof, if you ask for help, if you ask, hey, I need a problem, I have a problem, can you please help me? And there he is, Antoine. And it does. And Sebastian said, Sebastian, meet my friend Antoine. Antoine, this is Sebastian. He's from England. He's a cool dude. I like him. Really good dude. Um, but yes, Sebastian, it is fantastic. Uh, let me put that up so everybody can read that, buddy. You knew that Spirit was who guided me here. Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, I knew it. Oh my God, you don't know how happy I am to see him. That's the truth. We had some crazy times at work, did we not? But it works, and it proves everybody who's watching this right now. It's proof. If you need help, you ask for it. Ask for it. And you know what? If you go and you give somebody, if you give somebody that message, if you go to that person and spirit up, yeah, okay, everybody leaves, but that's okay. That's all right because whoever's supposed to stay here, whoever's supposed to stay here is supposed to see this. See, I don't know why they had to go, but that's okay. But you know what? If you do a good deed, the spirit will be there to help you. Yes, Sebastian, honest to truth. Um, Good spirits are at work. It's true. Absolutely. So if I could reiterate, right, somebody, who has, who needs help, just go help them because you will be rewarded like I was rewarded tonight with Antoine coming in the room. If that is not proof right there, it's proof. Definitely, it's proof. You know, but okay, we got about 10 more minutes left of this show, but don't forget, in 30 seconds, right? We're gonna go to um, the segment into the night. Um, so please hang around, for the 30 seconds, and we can continue talking. But I will, find something else to talk about. You know, you don't know how much I appreciate everybody who was in the chat room tonight, encouraging me. Being there, telling me it was okay, telling me everything will work out, and it is. I got 11 minutes and I survived, which is cool. You know, maybe my Joe, he was busy tonight. Maybe he couldn't get to the opportunity. But again, think about it. This is how the world works, right? Michael couldn't make it tonight, or Joe, okay, nor Jenny, and it was just me, okay. Would you consider this a test? Possibility. Not by them, but by spirit. Maybe I needed to talk like this. Maybe I needed to share what I shared tonight. Even though I was going all over the world with everything, maybe I had to do this. And you know what? I'm grateful that I did. I really am. I'm very grateful that I did. Antoine, honest to God, Sebastian, thank you so much. River Rose, God bless you, girl. Mandy, God bless you. Everybody else who was in the room, God bless you all tonight. It was great, you know. Um, so that was great, you know. And for the people who's not going to stick around, right, you know, after this show's over with, um, I would like to share with you that I close on my shows into the night with. And oh, hold on. Hello. Sebastian says, pass with flying colors, Sean. Not a problem. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. But I'm going to share with you how I close my shows on Into the Night, okay? And um, I hope you enjoyed, you know, this segment of Chasing Prophecy. Oh, Scott come back. So he says, Antoine says, spiritually can be incredibly beneficial for people. It provides a sense of meaning and purpose, which can lead to the greater fulfillment in life. You are so right, Mr. Antoine. You are so right, my friend. Oh, man. God bless you, dude. But parents, please, you know, if you can, if you can, please go up to your children and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And children, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those three words, I love you, go a long way. And if you have no parents, find a friend and give them a hug. Find somebody to give them a hug because not only does that hug work for them, but it also works for you too. It does not hurt to say, I love you, you know, so you know, just do it. I mean, give your children, give your parents a hug, give your grandmother a hug, give whoever you want to give a hug to. Okay. Um, I don't know. I think we're supposed to have Max Furyk on next week on Chasing Prophecy. Um, and we're going to talk about the Philadelphia experiment. We're also going to talk about his book that he has going on. Antoine got something else to say here. Especially, it can also offer comfort and support during difficult times. Spiritual practices like meditation and prayer have been shown to positive effect. Oh my God, where have you been? Antoine, that is so true. Am I really talking to Antoine Scott or am I just talking to the angel? You know, that's, you know, projecting words out from into Antoine telling him what to say. My God, dude, you are so right. But next week we're going to have Max Sherrick. We talk a little bit about the Philadelphia experiment, and then we're going to talk about his book that he has written. Let me see if I can remember what the name of his book was. Hmm. Uh, his book. What is it called? Yep, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I don't want Alexa, but he was a ghost on our show. A ghost on our show. I'm sorry. Sorry, Max, if you're listening to this, but he got a new book out and he's going to share it with us and talk about the Philadelphia experiment. It's going to be a good show next week. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a 30-second break and then I'm going to come back to Into the Night. Okay? All right. If you want to hang around, hang around. If you can't, that's okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining the show. And I'll see you in 30 seconds. Or no, I'll give me a minute. Hello, welcome back. This is Sean again, and welcome to Sarah. Thank you, Sebastian, for being here, buddy. This is the segment on Chasing Prophecy, Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly, and it's something different. It's been a while. I hope you enjoyed the last show. It was great, and I promise you, I'll tell you how I'm feeling. Um, kind of mad, actually, kind of upset a little bit. With the whole world. That's how I'm feeling tonight. You know, it just seems everything that I touch breaks down. It just doesn't work. And it was just one of those days. It was one of those weeks where um, it just didn't work. And today was topper, but thank God I have a day off tomorrow, which is crazy because the next 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, I have like 4 doctor's appointments. I did get my medical through the Veterans Association, VA hospital, and they've been very, very good to me. Um, they are really looking after my health, and there's a couple things that I would like to address um, about that. A lot of people. Now, I remember I got out of the service in 1985, and what happened was went over to the Veterans Hospital, to start, treatment, I guess, because I was a vet. But at the time when I went over there, it wasn't ran properly. There was a lot of stuff that happened that wasn't really cool at all. And it just wasn't giving me the help that I was supposed to be getting. It didn't give a lot of people help like it was supposed to. But you know what? Um, Now, I guess Trump, when he was in president, he made a deal. He signed a letter or a thing to give the veterans a lot more medical testing done, and they do. They are so on it. And what's so nice about it is I got these free glasses. I got free eye exam. I got all these doctors taking tests that I know for a fact that insurance companies would not let me take. These tests. Um, So that's where I'm at right now. I am a little nervous about that, and that's why I've been a little bit of an uptightness. I mean, that was part of the pie that I am going through. I guess you heard of King Midas and stuff like that. Um, everything he touched was turned into gold, but I'm King Midas, but nothing was touched in the gold. Everything just fell apart. Everything just fell apart. And I guess it's, a lot of people will, come out and say, you know what, that's like Mercury in retrograde, there's something going on in the air that's causing all these vibrations, all these different elements here. And no, it's not. It's just life. And to learn how to deal with life on life's terms is hard. Okay. I am in recovery, and I have gone through this for 30 some years, and trying to deal with emotions without doing the substance on them, trying to deal with people who are just jagoffs. That's a Pittsburgh sign language. Jagoff means you're an asshole. Excuse my language again. But yeah, so I just lost what I was thinking, but I'll get back to it. But learning how to live like this, learning to accept things. Um, what is it? The Serenity Prayer. Lord, help me, accept the things I cannot change, to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Russell's Russell says, "Hi, Sean. Hi, Russell. Hope you're feeling better. I'm getting there. Things always work out. They sure do. Thank you, Russell, for saying that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That means a lot. You just don't know. That means a ton. It means a lot. Thank you so much. I mean, man, my people are great. My people mean everybody that comes and listens to the show is great. That means a lot. Um, it does. But learning to live with life on life's terms is hard, and to do it sober, it's even harder, because back then it was like, you know what, I think I'm going to, instead of dealing with it, instead of dealing with things, it was like, no, if you heard the dog in the back, that's Maisie. That's our next door neighbor dog. She's a small dog, but boy, can she bark. But you know what? Back to helping myself, I just I can't take a drug or drink on it. And I just got to accept it and I got to deal with it. And that's okay. And that's why I like to go out and I ask for help a lot. I don't hold it in. I used to hold a lot of anger in. I used to hold a lot of resentments in. And then I would have to second guess myself. Am I doing it right? Or was I the wrong one? I mean, it was really, really bad, like codependencies, you know. Um, and but you know what? This is therapeutic for me. It has been for the last 5 years. Um, and I'm okay today, even though shit ain't working right. You know, life or spirit threw a curveball at me the last week, and you know what? I'm still in the batter's box, so I must be doing something okay. But it's been a while, that it's been a while since I could just talk about how I feel and the things that I love to do. You know, first of all, for the longest time, I don't know if anybody ever told you, who has ever watched my show, is that I do animal card readings, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one out tonight, and it's been a while that I've done it, okay? And what they do, these animal cards are, it's not a tarot reading, but it's an animal. And the card that I pull out tonight, I would like you all to Google it, and there's a reason why this animal is in your life. And after I pull this card, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Um, so the card I pull, let's see if I can get it right, is a dolphin. Yes. So what you do is you Google, you know, totem, animal totems, the dolphin, and it will tell you why that card came into your life tonight, you know. And I could tell you right now what the dolphin is, and it's true. It teaches you to breathe. And seriously, it teaches you how to breathe. The dolphin is there to help you breathe um, through life. And tonight earlier, I wasn't breathing at all. I was nervous. But then again, I had all my friends helping me out and giving me the support I need, which was really, really cool. But like I was saying back in in the last show, excuse me, the last segment, okay, um, I really got into the meditation. And when I first started to meditate, I learned how to do the Native American spirituality meditations. Actually, it was the Lakota Sioux, spirituality I started to learn. And when I started learning about the Lakota Sioux spirituality, okay, a lot of things, were put into my lap. Um, Taught me how to meditate. I remember going to a bookstore. I lie you not. I going into the bookstore, and this book just jumped off the shelf. It really did jump off the shelf, and it was called Black Elk, of Lakota Sioux shaman. And so when that book popped out, I started reading it, and inside it started it in the book it said different meditations, and I started to do that meditations, and I felt very comfortable doing those types of meditation. Um, I have I respect what everybody believes in. I respect their different religions that they believe in or whatever they believe that makes them happy for that that day, um, or forever. But at the time, okay, I was really lost because I really didn't have anything. And so I started to work with the animal medicine cards, right? Now, according to the Lakota Sioux, right, we all have 9 animal totems that follow us, that guide us through our life. Um, my mill, the alpha animal is the wolf. His name is Lakota. And the female is a red-tailed hawk. Okay. And those are my two main guides. Okay. And then there's like 7 other ones that just hang around and they come in and out. They're not all the same. But what I'd like to share with you is whatever animal that I saw that day, I would write it down, and then at night before I went to bed, I would look up the animal, why it was there. I mean, I was in the middle in my backyard, and there was a possum. And I'm like, we don't have possums where I live. We don't. And then there was a groundhog, and then there was a rabbit, and then I saw the raven, and then I saw the crow. And what I did was I wrote those all down, and I read their definitions of why, you know, um, their definitions of why the animal was there, and it, honest to God, showed a message why these animals popped up into my life that day. So if you're walking out or you're driving around and you happen to see a deer or you happen to see any type of animal or bird, please, birds, okay, write it down or keep it in the back of your mind that you were thinking. And and then when you go home, before you go to bed, just look up animal totem and then the animal that you saw. And it will probably give you the reason why it was shown you today. You know. Okay, I got it. Okay. Russell says, check out Joan Ocean's website. She talks to dolphins, Sasquatch too. Oh my God! Thank you guys. I'm gonna write this down real quick. Joan Ocean. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. Joan Ocean. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Russell. I appreciate it. And thank you, whoever's Squatsman or whoever. Thank you so much for sending that. I just wrote it down. I have learned a lot. And see, like I was talking about last time, you know, the last show, okay? Um, but I had to be here tonight to do this all by myself because I am just getting so much good positivity and different names that I need to look up that we could possibly have guests. It is like so cool. Thank you. But yeah, so when it comes down to that animal, you know, if you saw a raccoon, write it down and go home and find out what that raccoon is all about. And as you read the meaning or the definition behind the raccoon, you're going to say to yourself, oh my God, that's what I was going through. Oh wow, this is happening. Oh wow, this. And it works. I'm telling you, and it's dead on. It's dead on. I would not lie to you on that. And that's how I started to work with the animal medicine deck. Um, did I read tarot in the back? I started off reading tarot decks, yes. Um, but you know what? I just didn't. Facts. There you, Antoine. Hey, thanks for hanging in there, buddy. Facts. Um, so, you know, well, I'm just getting all kinds of messages. But you know what? It works. That's all I could say. It worked for me, and it could work for you. And it's funny because um, for me, whenever I get, and I'm going to do this right after this show tonight, right after this show, I'm going to go sit on my porch, and then I'm just going to talk to God, you know, and I'm just going to say, you know what? Thank you for keeping me sober today, or help me make it, or make it through this 3 hour show. I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual, but I'm definitely going to be going out and doing that tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Right after this is over with. But that's with the animals. Animals mean a lot to us. I mean, honest to God, they mean a lot to me, and I'm sure they mean a lot to you. The dog in medicine cards is loyalty. That's the best pet you could ever have is a dog or a cat. Whatever I live in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, and there's a person like 3 streets over that owns 2 pigs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. She owns 2 pigs, and she has them out, and they're eating their grass and everything. I have neighbors that live up the street, and they got a chicken coops. They got like 3 or 4, big old roosters and hens, man. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. So animals are a lot, you know. Sebastian says, absolutely right, Sean. Spot on. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm starting to blush here. Or is that the light? I don't know. But no, I got good people here tonight. So that's about it for the animals. Just, and it's crazy. A lot of people think, well, um, I'm Dr. Doolittle. Not me, but other people said, no. I said, well, go talk to that animal. Go talk to it. Seriously. And they're like, how the hell am I supposed to talk? How am I know if the animal's listening? Everybody's been taught that little voice that you hear in the back of your head, is your subconscious. I'm here to tell you it is not your subconscious. It is a message from spirit or forever or wherever or whatever particular situation that you're in. It's a message that is being given to you. It is not your subconscious. I'm not going to debate anybody on it. I know it's for real. And there was times that I would sit out in South Park, and all of a sudden a deer would just come up in front of me, and I would just say hello. I would say hello. How are you? And then in the back of my mind, I hear, "I'm doing fine. How are you doing?" And I knew it was just like this feeling that just came over me. that it was a healing. It was a message from that deer. And then it went away. I could have so many stories I could tell you about South Park. I remember one time I was out there meditating, no lie, and there was a mother skunk, no lie, a mother, not skunk, but a raccoon, a mother raccoon with four of her babies, no lie, and she came from the street all the way up to where I was and sat there and looked at me, you know. And they say that animals are attracted to good energy if they feel the love off of people, they will go to it. Excuse me while I have another drink. Okay, I'm back. It's a lot of talking to do. But yes, the animals are great. And the birds are fascinating too. Lately, for the past 2 weeks, when I go to work, I park in a certain parking spot. And there are ravens. There's one raven that sits on top of this lamppost, and he is there every morning. He, he's like squawking at me, and I know that he's saying good morning, and I say good morning back. And then there's I had a funny situation that happened the other day. Antoine should know about this over at Giant Eagle, but over at Shop and Save where I work at, um, there's a tom turkey. It's funny, and a couple of hens that walk there in the morning, and all of a sudden that tom turkey was looking at me, right, and he just like he was like bumping his chest and spreading his, I was like, holy crap, that door better be open because that boy's gonna be coming at me because I hear them turkeys are crazy and that they will go after you. Um, Tony, Antoine says, hey, sometimes we just got to chill and reflect. Take it easy, connect with the universe, and let your spirit animal guide you on your journey. Oh my God. That's awesome. Where you been? Yeah, the turkeys are crazy, dude. Honest to God, it's funny. This male turkey, it was funny. He thought I was going after his hens, and I was like, no, it ain't happening. And he's just like pumping his chest. You know how they make that noise with the feathers all spread out. I was like, that door better be open because I'm not going to get attacked by a turkey. That's the last thing I need is attacked by a turkey. But when you're out walking around in the woods or wherever, just feel the energy of the trees, feel the energy of the water, feel the energy of the rocks, flowers, whatever's out there, um, and just absorb it because it's like a whole new peace of mind that you got going on. It's just really, really like you feel like comfortable, like Antoine said, just chill, you know, and then that's what I do. I don't get to do that much anymore. Um, my life is busy. You know, I got 7 more years, and then things probably work until what 70. I don't know when I'm going to retire, but you know what? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and until the end. Um, there is possible chance that I would go on a couple investigations with different groups. Um, like I told you in the last segment, of Chasing Prophecy, um, I'd like to go Bigfoot hunting, you know, or dogman hunting, something different, you know. I'm going on vacation next week, not next week, starting the 2nd of June, and then I'm going to go in the middle of Pennsylvania where there's all kinds of woods, and I'm going to see what's going to happen. But I want to make sure that there's a hotel close by because I'm not going to do the camping bit. That just isn't me. It just isn't me. So, how's everybody's night tonight? Is everybody feeling good? Is everybody feeling okay? Um, this is, this has been a good 2.5 hours show so far, and I'm really enjoying it. Um, Thank you guys for, keeping me, um, you know, keeping me going tonight. This means a lot. Um, but back to the paranormal thing that I was talking about. Yes, I have retired from investigating. I retired back November 1st, 2022. Um, I've been doing it for 17 years, and it was just getting tiring. But you know what? Um, I get all these things. I get all these things. But let me tell you something. I just did another investigate. Me and Michael and his wife went down to Ohio again to investigate at another house in Bel Air, right? And it turned out great. Really back into it. I don't know if you hear those noises, but that's it. But but I do want to get back into the investigating a little bit. I'm investigating with people. Um, okay, there we go. Um, I was losing um, some energy. I know I'm starting to speak low now. But no, it's good to hear from other groups how people are doing their investigations and going on. I see people posting up their stuff and doing lives with their investigations, and it's good to see other people doing it. Younger people, us old timers, it just gets too much. I mean, think about it, right? We should do an investigation on a Saturday night, and we don't start until about 9:30, 10 o'clock. We're out of there at 2 in the morning, okay? And then we don't get home until about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm back up at 8 o'clock in the morning to go to work at 9. So I just can't do that no more, you know. But so now I can lay back and relax a little bit and go on my own time. And that's what's nice about being retired from the paranormal. Um, Another thing I like to do is I'd like to go prospect gold, and uh, and I'm going to be doing that in a couple of weeks from now. I do go to North Carolina. I do go through the Appalachian Mountains. They're crazy. They're beautiful, but they're crazy. I do also do some gold prospecting down in Virginia, and I also do some in Maryland. Then I go over to Ohio. I enjoy it because like you're talking before, it's similar to like a meditation for me. Hey, Anika, good to see you. Oh my God, I saw a picture of her, Antoine. My God, is she getting big? Everybody, Antoine's daughter, Anika. Oh my God, I remember when she was first born, and now she's turned into a very beautiful young lady. Good job, Antoine. Good job. I'm proud of you, buddy. I really am. I'm proud of you. But I but when I go gold prospecting, okay, and it's like meditating because I just sit in a creek on a rock. I'm in the creek and I'm looking at this green pan and pushing back the dirt to see if I get any gold. I know I will never be rich, and I know I will never, get the gold that they have like on those gold rush shows and stuff like that. I will never see that. But to go to, like a forest of some sort, not too far away from the main drag in my car, but pretty close to it, just out there and just panning for gold. I love it. Don't get me wrong, I've gotten some gold, but you know what? It's not why I really go out to do it to make the monies. It's just out there so I can be in contact with nature and also um, I just like sitting there and playing in the water. It sounds funny, doesn't it? But it's true. So hopefully, whenever I go out to Pennsylvania, that I'll, pick up some rocks and maybe pick up a little bit of gold. There's a friend of mine out there. Um, who's going to take a day off and show me the little places to go to around here. And it's not too far. It's called Danville, Pennsylvania, and it's not far away. It's about an hour and a half from Gettysburg. So I might take a trip down to Gettysburg after I spend a couple of days up in Danville. And so I'm really looking forward to this, to get away with it, get away from Pittsburgh, you know, and enjoy doing what I like to do. And if all that falls through, I know that down in North Carolina at the Lucky Strike gold mine down there, gold camp, they're having the festival on the 3rd and the 4th of June. So I might take a ride down to North Carolina. That's just it. And this is what is so like really cool about, dude, everybody, is that I can do whatever the hell I want to do now. Because most of my vacations were made up of going to places and investigate. Which was right, don't get me wrong. I mean, we traveled out of state and we went here and we went there and we went everywhere. But you know what? This time around, I don't have to worry about setting up the investigations and getting everybody there. I can just go do things on my own. You know, it's been a long time since I was able to do something like that. So yes, I am going to be prospecting gold, and I'm looking forward to it. And what's really really cool about it, Danville, Pennsylvania, from what I understand, they do have some Bigfoot sightings up in there, and they do have some dogman sightings up there. So that will be pretty cool. You know, that'd be pretty cool to do. And definitely, whenever I come back from the vacation, I will share it on my show. I will, absolutely, I will share it, and and we'll see where we can go from there. Let's see. I got another half hour left, so um, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Yep, everyone's leaving, but that's okay. President Trump must be on. That's fun. No, I'm getting all delirious. But I hope everyone has a wonderful summer tonight, this year. I hope the skies are blue, the clouds are white, and everything that you wish for and everything that you pray for is that you get it. Okay? I hope you do. And I just pray for your health. I and I do pray. I do pray for you guys. I do. Believe it or not, I do. Even though I'll never meet you guys again, ever, or I'll, never meet you, or I'll probably never see you guys or whatever. But I want you to know that I do have your back. And even though I'm not around you, I do pray for you and I keep an eye on you. Um, because I think everybody needs to have a little bit of faith, a little bit of prayer in there. Sebastian says, thank you very much, Sean. You also, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Sebastian. You're a good dude. Everybody in here is a good dude. And a good dudettes. You know what I mean? Everybody is. So, like I said before, I do pray for y'all. Okay? And I ask, the angels, because I'm really big into the angels. A lot of people call them the Nephilim, they call them this, and they call them another name. They call them, the Anunnaki or whatever. I call them beautiful people. Oh, yes, Antoine, we will meet again. Yeah, I'll take you out to lunch. And if I come over to England, Sebastian, we'll go out to lunch. You got to find me the best fish and chip place. It's crazy that you talk about that. Is I was talking about being stationed in Scotland, and I forgot to show, tell you all that my favorite dish over there was fish and chips, and it wasn't like getting them from a fancy restaurant or a bar of some sort. Over in Dunoon, there was a corner store, um, and they sold fish and chips, and it was terrible, honest to God. Um, I mean, if they had, the Allegheny Health Department walk in there, they'd shut the doors down real quick. But they had the best fish and chips in the world. Honest to God, it was huge, and they were the best. And over there, believe it or not, I don't know if you ever heard of this, Sebastian, but I know that in Scotland, right, this place that did their fish, they actually fried. I'm not lying to you. They fried their pizzas. No lie. They take a frozen pie out of their freezer, right, and they put it in the grease and cook it like that. It was crazy. Um, it was literally crazy. I never tried it because it just did not look good at all. But yeah, um, yeah, Sebastian, look for a very good fish and chip place. That would be good. Um, Life is okay now. I feel a lot better now than I did before when I first started at 7 o'clock tonight. I feel much better. And again, I want to thank the people who have been supportive with me tonight. I truly appreciate it. Sebastian says, he sounds interesting to say the least. Yeah, I know. But that fried pizza, no lie, man. Scotland. Oh, real quick, before I get off the subject, I the best thing I like to do over there too when I had a day off, right, was go to tea at noon. It was great. It was great, guys. No lie. I think there's more customers out at tea time than there are at dinner time. And then they had their little crumpets, little cookies and stuff like that, and they were so cool. But 4 or 5 guys like us who were in the Navy, right? We're in the Navy, and I mean we're pretty big and burly, and we really look different than the Scottish people. It's funny, and we're just sipping our tea and having our crumpets, and it was funnier now. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being over there. Scotland was beautiful. When I was over in Scotland, I got a chance to go to Ireland and see where my family was from. I still have cousins over there, which is great. Um, but it's beautiful, beautiful. But they don't have no good fish and chip shops over there. The best fish and chip shops is the little one down in Dunoon. What's Sebastian say here? Yes, indeed. I like the old fish and chip shop. Yeah, and you know what else is pretty good over there too was the vinegar. The vinegar that they had to put the fish, put on the fish, even on the chips. I did that. Um, it was good. I do miss it, but when I joined the service, I was what 18, and I was young, dumb, and stupid. Okay, and so my first duty station was Holyloch, Scotland. And being the dumbass that I was, see over there, drinking age was 18 years old, and I spent all my time in the bars getting drunk. And then when I got sober, when I came back, and I don't know if it will ever happen. I really do wish and hope it does. Okay, that I can get back over there to Scotland and go to Dunoon and actually look at it like sober, you know, or just go to a little town called Greenock and go down to Edinburgh and stuff like that. Um, those are good times. What I really liked about it over there, not the stuff that I remember though, was you had to take a train from Greenock down to Edinburgh. But before you, oh my God, everybody's talking tonight. Holy crap! Trump must be on TV. But what was really crazy was that you had to take a boat over to Greenock, and then you had to hop on a train to get down to Edinburgh. And it was just like Edinburgh was beautiful down there, but to me, um, it was the best place. So hopefully someday I can go back and I can go back sober. You know what I mean? It would be kind of great. But that's about all my Navy. Oh, when I was in Australia and I got to hold a koala bear, you know, that was cool. And that's the first time I ever had pizza with pineapple. How many people like pizza with pineapple and ham on their pizzas? Not me, but I had to try it because the person that I was with there had it. And uh, um, no, I did not get to see Stonehenge. Not at all. Um, I really wish I can. There's a lot of things over there, Russell, that I really would like to see. So hopefully, Russell, I can get back there before I die because I would like to see it. I like to see a lot of things over there now. For what I know now, and what for the past 5 years, just to go over there and check it out, that would be great. That would have been, yeah. So definitely, if I do go over there, I am going to go see the Stonehenge. It's amazing how they got them rocks up there. Antoine says, figures. Antoine says he completely enjoyed it. Uh, Pineapple on pizza sweetened up the sauce. Nah, I'm sorry, dude. No, you can't do it. It just destroy it, you know. But no, so yeah, definitely Stonehenge. Now definitely go over and visit Sebastian. That'd be pretty cool. We can go to a fish and chip joint, you know. But so we'll see what happens. Okay, it's getting pretty close, and I'm going to try to make it up to 9:50 p.m. Okay, I'm going to try to make it up there. I'm not sure if I can or not, but um, I'm glad that everybody enjoyed the show tonight. Um, I'm glad everybody who um, participated tonight and the people who could not get through to listen to the show. Thank you to all my listeners out there, all over the world, all in the United States, all over the different countries that we are into. Um, I want to thank you because that every Tuesday I can come into your household and or your car or wherever you're at and listening to the show. That I can come in here and we can talk, back and forth, and I can share my stuff with you. And when Jenny comes back, and when Michael comes back, or whenever Joe sort of shows up. But like I said, maybe you know, um, maybe we'll see what happens. That's all I could say. But I don't know. I'm running out of stuff to say. Does anybody have any last things to say? Um, Anybody have anything on their mind that they want to talk about? I know it's supposed to be a very okay. I got some stuff I could talk to you about too. Okay, this is my first year ever growing. I'm starting a garden. No lie. No lie. This is my first year. Now you have to remember though, everything that I tried to plant in my backyard died. Okay. I'm glad you did, Russell. I'm glad you did. Happy to you. I'm happy for you too. Thank you. Um, but everything I planted would die in the backyard. And I come to find out we had 4 walnut trees, black walnut trees out in the back. And what happened was we cut down, but the roots of the trees they left off some type of chemical that would actually kill things that you know we would try to grow. So this past 2 months, I planted potatoes, I planted garlic, I planted onions, I planted some baby carrots, and what else? Green beans, and I'm actually going to try to start a watermelon too. I'm going to try to start a watermelon, so I did plant it, and then I'm going to try some peppers. But tomatoes. I actually got some flowers on my tomatoes, so I'm waiting for them to bud. So it's pretty cool. So hopefully, and even doing the garden work too, honestly, that helps out. You know, my potato plants are getting huge, and I'm telling you what, whenever my stuff is like ripe and whenever it grows to its full capacity, I am going to definitely take some pictures and some videos maybe, and I'm going to be happy to show them to you on here. You know, um, so that'd be pretty cool. A little note for next week, maybe. Does anybody do any gardens out there? Does anybody plant anything? Sebastian, I know it rains a lot, not too much sun over there. Okay, so do people build gardens over there, Sebastian? The giant bird sounded great, Sean. A friend and I saw a large bird, no flapping wings, just gliding. We thought that it may have been a heron. You know what? Those herons, I got a story about herons. We do have herons around here, um, but they are usually located rivers. In Pittsburgh, we got the Allegheny, the Mon, Monongahela, and the Ohio River. The Mon comes down, the Allegheny comes down, and it forms the Ohio. So we have a lot of blue herons around there, um, but also around the different lakes like North Park, Kinzu Dam, uh, North Park. But they're scary looking. They're pterodactyls. They look like pterodactyls. And then, I had my fish on the stringer, no lie. I mean, I caught like four trout back to back to back to back. It was funny. I had them on the stringer. And then I saw this big old pterodactyl, blue heron coming at him. And I was like, you ain't touching these, dude. So I had to scare him away. Andy says, well, let's see what Sebastian says. Enjoying the weather at the moment. It's usually dark and gloomy. Yes, sir. Honest to God, I think over in Scotland, one day out of the year, the sun came out and everybody stayed in because they couldn't go out in the sun because of their skin. But the ones that did go out in the sun, they were like burnt like a tomato. I don't know if that's like got that in England. But Mandy says, I did in my younger years, I did gardening. And did you feel, Mandy, when you did your garden, did you actually felt like it was like a stress relief for you? Um, because what I do here, and it's not too much. It's just a little thing. I'll take a picture of it and put it on my Facebook page. But he takes a breath. I gotta get something to drink real quick here. Yes. Okay. Awesome. It's great. I mean, I'm glad that you got to not meditate, but just feel relaxed. The thing I do now, I never thought a long time ago that I'd be doing the gardening, the gold panning, the fishing. Never thought I'd be doing that, but now I am, and it relaxes me. It gets me back to myself again. It does. I enjoy life. Like I said before, and like at 7 o'clock in the evening, life threw me a curveball today, but you know what? I'm still in the batter's box. But I do enjoy life. I do enjoy hearing people's success stories, and people have stories that don't end well. Um, you know, Best I can do is tell you to hang in there and keep on trying. Um, my buddy, okay, Sebastian says, Sebastian says, gardening is amazing. Only a small garden, but it's great and fulfilling to work on. That is so true, sir. That is very true. I mean, I'll be, the garlic and the onions. I'm waiting for them to like kind of pop up, you know, even the beta carrots. But it's like kind of like an experiment for me now, because if things work out right and I really get into it, because I tell you what, gardening is really, really expensive. But you know what? It's kind of worth it. But if everything works out this year, then I'm just going to go and I am, going to get like bigger planters or whatever they call. Um, I forget the name. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but you've been talking about them all night, all week, and then you forget the words. But I'm going to get really big into it next year. It's not like I have a small back porch, a small yard. Oh my gosh, everybody's talking tonight. But you know what? I'm going to go big next year. I'm just going to get better places to plant. Get raised garden beds is what they're called, raised garden beds. But it's getting close to the witching hour. I want to thank everybody for hanging in there with me tonight for um, for the last 3 hours. Um, I have never taught so cold frame. I have to look at that cold frame. Okay, I'll write that down. So I'm glad that everybody hung in there with me, and I hope that somebody learned something tonight. Um, don't know what happened with my guests or with Jenny or Michael, but you know what? Everybody else showed up in here, and everything was okay. Um, everything was good. And on the, like I said last at my last segment on the other show, parents, if you can, please go to your children and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And children, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. Okay? And if you have no parents and you have no children, find somebody to give a hug to. Because we all need one. We all definitely need a hug. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for being on tonight, coming and listening. Next week we should have Max Furyk. He is an author. And we're looking, might talk about the Philadelphia experience, a couple other things. Who knows what's going to happen? What's going to happen next week? We don't know. All we have is today. All we got is until midnight. So, Sebastian says, welcome. And Sean, thank you. Good night, sir. Great show. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Antoine says, real quick, when my daughter was 5 to 8 years old, she fed crows outside the mall during the theater program. One day, waiting for the bus, she found a blue star stone, her spirit animal, a crow. Definitely, dude. Absolutely. No doubt. Absolutely. You take that to the bank. All right, everybody. Good night. See you next week. Enjoy your week. Hope everyone has a happy week. And I will talk to you all later. And on that note, happy hunting. See if I can find it. Where's the letter? Okay. Let's go. Let's go. That's why I can't find it, but we're going to find something here. Okay. Where's that? There it is. Good night, everybody.